What's going on, people? What's going on? It's your boy, Jermaine McCrimmon, and we'd like to thank you guys for tuning in one more time and again here at Humanity Unplugged podcast. I'm your host, and it's been a great pleasure for me to do this episode and every episode that I bring you guys of factuality, real life stories of things that happen in our world that we live in. We'd like to give a shout out to all the continuing listeners, the new fans, the fans that just passing by in general and just clicking on us and listening to some of our episodes. This is our 146th episode. Probably, to be real with you guys, probably 150. I probably miscounted somewhere down the line. We've been doing it now for over a year, and we like to thank all our supporting cast members, everyone involved to help make this process possible. We'd like to first give an honor to the Most High, who give us the wisdom and knowledge, along with the patience, the understanding, and the third eye of just progressing in life. As y'all know, I'm talking about a hot topic. You know, most people will talk about Nolan Wells, and I will get into that a little bit because I do got a skit from his mom and dad I'm gonna throw in here. But Miss Harris, Javeayah Harris, is what I'm gonna talk about today. This is a 4-year-old that was missing for over a month, and out of Aiken, South Carolina. And as always, guys, I do episodes about things that really happen in our world and how the world ignores us or how we may play a negligence in our own demise. Um, in this instance or this application, episode, whatever you want to call it, this is a young, innocent girl, 4-year-old child. And they did her dirty, man. They did her real dirty. And her parents is the one allegedly who did it to her. And I'm here today to speak up and tell people in general, and this has nothing to do with Javeayah Harris, but this goes out to Nolan Wells' family. It's a great loss. A great loss. My condolences go out to that family, to the father, to the mother. I don't know how to say this without offending people, but I will tell you that everybody that's around you don't like you. They tolerate you because there's a need to tolerate you, but they do not like you. They hate your guts. And if they can get rid of you, by all means necessary, they will try it. I've seen it. I've even seen this at work recently. By all means necessary, you are being tolerated. You're not liked. So, as a man, and that came up in the 80s, I've seen racism, I've seen discrimination, I've seen the movements, I've seen our first president, second president, whatever you want to call, African American, black, whatever status you want to put on us, I've seen it. And I tell my kids all the time, they don't like telling me stuff because people put a narrative on men, but they don't understand what a man's position is because they're not even men that's putting the narrative on men. As a man and as a man of color, we have a duty to protect our family, provide for our family, keep them safe, and be the one that takes that beating verbally, because we should be tough enough to understand what's going to come with the decisions we make. But again, a lot of times the narrative is pushed that this man or this particular situation he won't relate with, he won't understand. You don't need to tell him. You do what you want to do. We'll break it down later. And I want you to understand that is the worst thing you can do to any man, is to leave him out in the dark on decision making, or put a narrative on that person that they won't understand the situation. All because you know what he's going to give you is information that cannot be denied. The reality, or his understanding of the things you don't see, you can't deny it. So when I look at Nolan Wells, I wish his father would have put his foot down and told his son no. Sometimes you got to say no. Sometimes you got to be that person that no one else understands, no one else likes. I can't stand him. But I'd rather have my child mad at me in the room than dead in a coffin. I'd rather my daughter be upset with me at her friend's house than dead in an alley. I'd rather my son or my daughter be upset with me when we can sit down and talk about why you upset than saying I should have done this to prevent it. I'm not blaming the parents with Nolan Wells. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying everybody that's around you don't like you. They tolerate you. And as parents, we have to teach our kids it's all right to be by yourself. It's all right to miss some engagements. It's all right to say no to some activities. It's all right to put boundaries to keep your children safe. That's all I got for you today. We're going to get into it. And I want y'all to understand that this episode is dedicated to the twins, boys who was hung in Georgia, dedicated to the 4 girls that drowned out in England, or 3 girls that drowned out in England, to every female or male that was hung this year. And they said it was a suicide. They are taking us out left and right. And it is so sad that they hide behind the parents' power positions to get away with murder, to get away with assassinations, to get away with just killing our youth, taking them out like they're not worth anything. It is so unfortunate that we focus on soccer. We focus on the NBA. We focus on the NFL football. We focus on Major League Baseball, but we cannot focus as people on all the missing kids that are being found dead. All the people that's being hung at these college dorms, on these institutions, the kids that come up missing. Why we can't come together and solve these crimes? Why we can't put an end to the black market of child pornography. Why we can't come to an end and stop these people that are doing harmful things in our community. All these rich basketball players, all the rich football players, people of political position. No one is doing nothing. Well, I applaud people that keep putting the light on, keeping the awareness on this situation, on this topic. And I know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Y'all been missing this work. Y'all been missing me get up here and barking and doing what I do. I'm sorry. I've been really overwhelmed with work and I've been putting that pain in. But I get so fed up at what I see that the news and media want you to cover. They want you to cover Venus Williams' sister hurting their knees and they're not in the tournament no more. I don't care. Who cares? Or the celebrity golf tournament with Curry's in it. Charles Barkley hitting a putt, doing a birdie or whatever. I don't care. Give me something of substance. Something. And it's not there. All they give you is what the man, you know, the orange man in the White House that the black people built. He right there and there. That's all we get. I'm tired of it. Give me something. So your boy had to get in the lab and I had to give y'all this work. God bless everyone. Stay safe. Keep a gat with you at all times if you're down here in the South, for real. Much love to you. I'm going to give y'all this work. Here we go.
News update right now. We're getting the latest information as the Aiken County Sheriff's Office is going to be giving us some live and new information on the 4-year-old Javeayah Harris, who has been missing since Tuesday. She was last seen at 8:15 in the Hillsboro Street and Ridgecrest Road out in Aiken County. The Sheriff's Office says earlier this week that the mobile search operations are being scaled back, but emphasizes that the search for Miss Javeayah Harris, who's 4 years old, will continue until she is found. She was last seen wearing pink Minnie Mouse pajamas and Crocs. Investigators say more than 5,000 acres have been searched so far. We'll be hearing right now, as you can see on your screen, Sheriff Sawyer is going to be giving us some new details on this investigation, and we're looking to hear some more. Take a listen.
I want to, excuse me. I want to tell you guys, this little girl, been missing for over a month. This is old. She's been missing for over a month. They got a breakthrough of what happened to her now. Here we go.
Aiken County Sheriff Marty Sawyer. And we're gathered here, and I'm gathered here with all these law enforcement partners to make the hardest announcement that I've ever had to make in my 36 years career in law enforcement. I'm deeply saddened to tell you that our investigation and evidence leads us to believe that 4-year-old Javeayah Harris is deceased. It's the outcome that we all feared, and sadly, it's the outcome that we must face. We'll have to face it together as a community.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name.
I'm sorry, guys. I got to let this play. All right. I got you. Here we go.
Our search for Javeayah drives on. We are continuing to put massive law enforcement resources to work to recover Javeayah and bring her home. We all hoped and prayed to find her alive. But it's extremely important to bring her home to her family, and it's important to bring her home for us.
Now, of course, guys, this
We're
is
currently searching.
this is a very, very touchy story. And right now, law enforcement don't know where she's at exactly and what really took place. This is one of the first news media coverages that I wanted you guys to hear. Here we go.
Searching an area of interest right now, not in Aiken County. And I am not disclosing where that's at. Because I'm sure you understand, if in fact Javeayah's body is where we think it is, it's going to be a difficult time for everybody there. And we don't need anybody from the outside of law enforcement, trying to access that area. Today, I'm announcing that we have arrested Javeayah's parents. We've arrested her dad, 23-year-old Johnmarea Harris, and her mom, 22-year-old Michilae Herring.
These two individuals are still kids, young people, 23, 22-year-old, and tell you the truth, might not have any business having a child and then go and do this after the child is here. Child's already 4 years old.
For homicide by child abuse and filing a false police report. Additional charges may be forthcoming. We'll figure that out as the investigation goes further. We have spoken to Javeayah's extended family, and we'd ask that you respect their privacy. We can only imagine what they're going through. We put every resource available to find Javeayah and to bring her home safely. I want you to pay close attention to these next two sentences. This is very important.
Y'all should see the man. The man is
Sadly,
shaking. His hands are shaking. He's really
the night
touched
of the
by this.
911 call on June the 30th, when that call was made, it was already too late to save Javeayah. At this time, our investigation supports that she had been deceased for at least a month. I want to express my sincere gratitude to every law enforcement agency, local, state, and federal, and all of our volunteer fire departments in Aiken County, who stood alongside us this whole journey for the past 3 or 4 days in this heat and long hours. There's too many agencies to name, but I am going to name a few that played the key role and supported Aiken County Sheriff's Office in this operation. Special Agent in Charge, Kevin Moore with the FBI Field Office in Columbia. You'll hear from him in just a minute. Major Patterson with the South Carolina Highway Patrol. Chief Keel with the State Law Enforcement Division. Sheriff Rowland with the Edgefield County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Kuhn with the Lexington County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Boone with the Kershaw County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Gino Brantley with the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. And Chief Baranco and Johnson with the Aiken and North Augusta Department of Public Safety. A big thank you goes out to Paul Matthews with Aiken County Emergency Management.
I want y'all to know that a lot of people played a part in coming together to solve this. It's never easy to accept death. death is exactly what it means. It takes away something or someone we love. And in this incident, this 4-year-old didn't have a chance. Could you imagine a 4-year-old little girl who possibly clings to her father, because the opposites, they cling. That's daddy little girl. Could you imagine her eyes trusting in her father? And he went and took her out. Could you imagine the mother, her psychological, where they were in, the presence of mind of knowing this came out of you and now you're going to take it out. You could have killed yourself. You could have erased the fact that you existed and still gave her a chance at life. Oftentimes we make decisions not based on factuality or reality. It's based on emotion. Emotional decisions are the worst decisions to make. As a human being, we need to block out the emotion when making decisions and try to make it based on factuality, what's actually going on in your life. What can you do to improve your circumstance? And it's sad that this young girl never had a chance. How she died is even worse than them killing her or finding out she was murdered or finding out she's missing. It's how they did it. And for them to kill her and then pour chemicals on her body, and the chemicals ate up her body, and they poured all the remains of her into a lake. That is some of the most graphic, horrible, disgusting things a person can do to someone else. And for parents to do that to their own child, speechless. I'm gonna give you some more. Here we go.
News on the WCNC Charlotte app. We want to head now to Aiken County, South Carolina, where happening right now, the Aiken County Sheriff's Office providing updates into the investigation to the death of 4-year-old Javeayah Harris. Let's take a listen in.
Thought in your head now. So at the end, we can go ahead and ask those questions. So thank y'all.
That is great.
Here we go.
Good morning. I'm Marty Sawyer, and I'm the sheriff in Aiken County. Thank you for being here today, especially the citizens of Aiken that's come in. Thank you for being here. And I'm here to provide an update on the investigation that we've been investigating the death of 4-year-old Javeayah Harris. These updates never get easier to share. This past week has been heart-wrenching for everyone, but we've seen an outpouring of support in Aiken County and a massive joint law enforcement effort to search for and now to seek justice for Javeayah Harris. Personally, there's some very harsh words that I would like to use about Johnmarea and Michilae and their actions. But I will not do that. And I will not do that to protect and maintain the integrity of this case. But I will tell you this. I will not refer to them as mom and dad or mother or father. They don't deserve that title.
Mm-hmm. That's the truth.
Looking for an easier way to get that LLC.
I got to go through this one. Here we go. We right back at it.
I stand before you saying this is one of the most difficult, deeply disturbing, and emotionally taxing investigations this office has ever worked, and it's weighed heavily on this sheriff's office, all these other law enforcement agencies, all these people behind me that's worked tirelessly to bring this to an end, and it's weighed heavily on our community. I am truly sickened to share what this investigation has uncovered. From the moment Javeayah was reported missing, the sheriff's office, as well as our law enforcement partners and first responders, we responded with urgency, determination, and compassion. What started as an exhaustive and complex search quickly grew to something that I would have never imagined. Now understand, I cannot discuss all the details known as Cedar Creek Reservoir, also known as Stumpy Pond in Fairfield County. These remains were immediately sent to the State Law Enforcement Division.
I'm going to rewind it, guys.
Understand that I cannot discuss all the specific details in this case. But at this time, I can share that a few human remains were recovered in an area known as Cedar Creek Reservoir, also known as Stumpy Pond in Fairfield County. These remains were immediately sent to the State Law Enforcement Division, and through analysis.
So they found the remains, a few remains of her body in a pond, and they took it to the labs, and now we got a train passing by. We're going to find out what's what.
Offspring of Johnmarea and Michilae. I want to also share with you that through forensic evidence, statements, and analysis, extensive and deliberate efforts were made to destroy and conceal evidence following Javeayah's death. Our information reveals the use of corrosive chemicals and other tools that were used to accelerate the destruction of her little body.
Y'all hear this? Here go another train, man.
What remains were left of Javeayah into the Cedar Creek Reservoir. These subjects went through great lengths to cover their repulsive and revolting actions. In my 37-year career in law enforcement, I have never ever heard of anything so horrific. As a result of this information, it's unlikely that the entirety of Javeayah's body or any other remains from this point forward will be recovered.
I want to stop there because y'all heard them. They use chemicals on purpose to destroy the little girl body, to just erase her existence, period. That's what they tried to do. Yep. That's what they tried to do. Erased her mere existence in life. Y'all know what they need to do with the parents, right? They need to do the same thing that they did to that girl to their damn parents. But do it to her. Do it to them while they're alive. They don't need to be relaxing. No. Here's a closeout. So sad, guys. This is Noah Wells' parents speaking about him.
Doing this because we want answers.
Christine Wells Wansley and Elmore Wansley say their son Nolan went out for a fun boat trip to Horn Island with a bunch of his high school friends. Late on July 4th, his mom says her heart dropped when she saw one of Nolan's friends calling.
What did he say? He said, "Hey, Miss Christine, have you seen Nolan or talked to Nolan?" I said, "No, I thought he was with you guys, you know." He's like, "No, nobody's talked to him. We left the island at, I think he said 3 p.m.
Time out. See, this is what I'm saying, man. I hate to break this down. How your son goes somewhere and you let somebody call you and ask you, have you seen your son or talk to your own son? This is your son. You ain't talked to your son? See, we got a problem, y'all. Lord have mercy. Why y'all want me to talk about this crap? Let's rewind this. I'm going to break it down.
Nolan went out for a fun boat trip to Horn Island with a bunch of his high school friends. Late on July 4th, his mom says her heart dropped when she saw one of Nolan's friends calling.
What did he say? He said, "Hey, Miss Christine, have you seen Nolan?"
There you go.
To Nolan, I said, "No, I thought he was with you."
See, I thought he was with you. We have a problem. My kids don't go nowhere across seas, cross town, all around the world, and we don't talk. I don't know nothing about my son every day. He talks to, what we talking about? We're too damn comfortable.
You guys, you know. He's like, "No, nobody's talked to him. We left
Look at the father just sitting there. He don't know nothing either.
the island at, I think he said 3 p.m. and he wanted to stay because he was talking to a girl."
That friend's mother, a local judge, posted on Facebook that Nolan told the boys he was going to stay on the island. But
Now, first of all, let me rewind this because I'm about to let y'all go. I'm not going to hold it. If you guys want me to go deeper, I'll go deeper. Just leave it in the comments or whatever. This is an island where he said he was going. And I don't know if you know what island mean, but that means you need some type of transportation to get there and some type of transportation to go back home. So if he said he gonna stay there, then how is he getting back home? If you came with 4 people to the island, you would think if these are your friends, your people, they would say, "No, Nolan, we came together. We're going to leave together." How is this possible for him to say he going to stay there with a girl? Now, in deeper context, he is the only colored person with them. They're all white. He is a football star. He very much liked in the community, allegedly. Because people that like you don't do this to you. People who care about you don't do this to you. Ain't no way in the world my son is going somewhere and we're not in contact every day. 15, 20 minutes every day.
Family's attorney, Ben Crump, says another teenager said Nolan was going back with his friends. It's unclear who Nolan was with when he disappeared.
Do you think there's a possibility that your son drowned accidentally?
The problem with asking all these questions, this is the problem. And this is what a lot of people don't get. Stop talking to media. Because when you talk like this, the defense know how to angle to stop what your beliefs are. They shouldn't have said nothing. They shouldn't have said nothing. They shouldn't have spoke on the news. Oh, it's too late to talk now. Your son gone. You should have talked before. You should have asked all these questions or been real active in your son's life. Now, I'm not blaming them, but I'm blaming them. I'm not saying they the problem, but they the problem. Because it starts at home. At home. People tolerate us. They don't like us.
Honestly, because of the way the stories are just so inconsistent and how that day went, it's just, you know, we can't say for sure. And I don't know how to answer that.
Monday, the college athlete's body was recovered in the water. The location of Nolan's phone now fueling the family's questions.
If the boy drowned, he drowned all by himself. He was in the water with nobody around him. That's what they're trying to say. They're trying to say nobody saw what went on with this young man in the water. Are you serious? There's no adults at this island. No one was there. No police. No type of security. No one knows nothing. We don't have no cameras. We don't have no cell phones, recordings, nothing. This is all foolishness. I'm telling y'all, this is the biggest effery I've seen in a while.
His mother tracked it to a friend's home back on land.
Teenagers love their phones. And two, that's his means of communication. If something happens, you need your phone.
There are hundreds of people on that island. Nobody sees what happened.
Thank you. Thank you. At least a lawyer. You know, Benjamin Crump saying no one see nothing. No one know nothing. How the kid get the phone but the boy in the water? Then the kid called saying, have you seen him? Nigga, did he leave the island with you? You know, when you left the island, he wasn't with you. But this is what I'm saying. They act like everybody's stupid. I ain't got time for this. Y'all want to get me hot, so I go up here and barking at these people like they ignorant. I ain't doing all that. But I get real emotional when stupidity is so blatant.
And he stays behind and doesn't ask for his phone.
We asked about this
Thank
video
you.
from the 4th, which many on social media suggest shows an argument involving Nolan.
Do you hear your son in that video?
I can't say yay or nay to that.
Yeah, the video's too
Do you
congested.
see him in the video?
I do not, just because of the way
Yeah,
it's
it's the
shot.
way the video is shot.
family's
It's very
high-profile
difficult.
attorney has repeatedly invoked race.
Do you think that race may be involved in what happened to your son?
You hear this? And nothing against this lady that's doing the interview. I'm just breaking down what the facts are. This lady gonna ask them who is Caucasian, ask black people. I'm telling y'all, the media want to play this, you know. Do you think race played a part? I'm not laughing at the man deaf. I'm just laughing at the way media portrays everyone to be ignorant and stupid. This is hilarious. Excuse my French. This is hilarious.
I don't want to believe it is, but
And they're so naive. I don't want to believe it
unfortunately,
is.
There's patterns, right?
You had patterns before you sent his ass on that damn trip. They were hanging blacks all left and right, all over the country, all over the world. They were hanging black people. Kids coming up missing. You had patterns that y'all didn't pay attention to. Y'all just said, go ahead and go. You didn't even know the boy was up missing. You ain't talked to your son. There's tons of patterns how people treat people. You ain't paying attention.
I mean, so many things have happened, and so many things have been swept under the rug.
So whether he's talking about this case or other cases, and y'all still just say F it? Y'all didn't ask no questions. Were police going to be there? Any type of security going to be there? Like, what's going on? Who's adult going with y'all? Y'all not adults. Y'all kids.
They say they want their son to be remembered as a sweet soul.
He just had a big heart. Like,
Oh, yeah.
to really know Nolan, to have him as your friend it was something special.
Do you worry that he might have trusted too much?
Sometimes.
Not just he trusted, they trusted. It wasn't a thing where he trusted too much. Y'all supposed to be the overseer for him. You got to know when to say no as parents.
Yeah, and that was something we always talked to him about.
Yeah,
Incredibly sad what that family's going through. Kate Snow joins us now. And Kate, the family has ordered their own independent autopsy.
They have, Tom, and we should note that authorities to this point have not said what the cause of death was and also the results of that autopsy.
Yeah, they're not going to say what the cause of death is. Because, yeah, he drowned, but they got some bruises on that body. I put money on it. I'll give you a conclusion on this. You know, I'll get y'all back in it to see what's really going on with Nolan Wells. But, y'all, that's our episode. And you know, I'm sorry that I barked a little bit. Y'all know I can't do this, man. I try to talk easy. I try to, excuse me, but ignorant is bliss. And people just, you know, too much trusting in too many people that just tolerate your mere existence in this world. They tolerate you. They don't want you here. They don't want you around them. They don't want you eating. They don't want you making the money you making or even seeing you as often as they see you. They only want to see you for the bare minimum. I hate that the reality of life is that, but that is what it is. And y'all can sit here in these mirrors or in your lifestyle that you live and act like it doesn't exist. I'm sorry. It does exist. And the bodies that's in the morgue, the body that's in the cemetery, the bodies that are missing prove that people don't like people. That's my conclusion. That's what it is. Until you come into the reality of life that everybody that see you and talk to you don't like you, you are at risk. When you know you're at risk, you'll act that way. You'll protect yourself that way, and you'll move like you know better. I'm your host, Jermaine McCrimmon. This is Humanity Unplugged podcast. It's your boy. We here one more time and again. God bless. And remember, guys, when you listen to this episode or you listen to Humanity Unplugged podcast, please take your shoes off, put your feet up, get you something cold and refreshing, hot cup of coffee, whatever it is you're fancy. And remember, man, this is just information for educational purposes only. This is my opinion. I might be wrong. Who knows? But the facts are the facts. It can't be denied. Protect yourself at all times. Happy Sunday. Peace.